We're coming on the air with breaking news, very sad news to tell the sports world. The LA Times is reporting that retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash. It happened this morning. The chopper reportedly went down just before 10 a.m. local time.
We've just learned that there were 9 people on board, according to the manifest. Authorities do believe 9 people perished, the pilot plus 8 other people.
Bryant's daughter Gianna was also killed along with 7 other people. They were all flying to her basketball game when the chopper crashed. The Los Angeles iconic Laker leaves behind his wife and 3 young daughters.
We get caught up in this world in debates and who's the greatest, and love to judge people and off the court and on the court decisions. I think a lot of times we forget about who people are. And I'm not going to say prayers and condolences because I don't even know how you capture this moment, man. Today's a tough day. Today's a hard day. And I hope that everybody at home, you give that person next to you whatever thing you have wrong in your life with them, if this might be small or big, let that go. It doesn't matter. I know I curse, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
None of that stuff matters, man. This is, it's about life and being precious with every damn second we have here.
To know Kobe the way that a lot of us did, to know his brilliance, to know his intellect, to know his commitment to excellence, and the fact that he wanted to motivate and inspire just a generation of people to be similar, of a similar ilk. To see him gone at the age of 41, knowing that he had so much life ahead of him, is just devastating, because to be as brilliant and as gifted as he was, full of life and so much to live for, and so many people who loved him and appreciated him, to see him gone today is nothing short of devastating.
You know, I just can't have to go talk to a team before a game and tell them to play a game.
For those Kobe fans that are out there that are feeling like I feel right now, just try and think of all the joy that he brought you, making the highlights that you remember, the championships that he brought, that put smiles on your faces. Those are memories that you're gonna have to rely on going forward.
Here's who tonight's speaker is. Before I introduce him, I want to tell you what some of his accomplishments are. Hang on. I got to tell you some of the things he's done. After the first one, you're going to know who it is. And if you're jacked up about it, I want you to holler and bring this building down. You ready? Let me say who it is first. First sentence. Ready? He is the greatest Laker of all time. 5-time champion, the only guard to play with one team for 20 years. Give it up to the one, the only, Kobe Bryant.
You were pretty much certain from an early age as a kid that you were going to be an NBA player. Why did you feel so strongly about that? It didn't even seem like as much that's what you wanted to do as much that's what you knew you were going to do.
Well, I felt like I was born to play basketball. I mean, I started playing at the age of 2, and I love it. So, you know, when you kind of find that passion at an early age, I mean, that's really the goal. Is to kind of find whatever you're passionate about at an early age and just kind of grow into it.
I had a purpose. I wanted to be one of the best basketball players to ever play. And anything else that was outside of that lane, I didn't have time for.
At what age did that goal become crystal clear?
I made that deal with myself at 13 years old.
At 13 years old?
13 years old. That's the deal I made.
Crystal clear about it?
Crystal clear.
And where did inspiration come from?
The love of the game. the love of the game, the challenge. Like I would watch Magic play, I'd watch Michael play, and I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, you know, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out.
The mirror images of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant have always played out the same way. MJ sets the mold, and Kobe does everything he can to fill and expand it.
How did it feel knowing, like, from the moment you got into the league, the guy at the time is the greatest of all time, everybody wants to be like Mike, Gatorade, all this stuff. The level of respect he had for you when he spoke about you was different than everybody else. And you're an 18, 19-year-old kid at that time.
Yeah.
How did that feel when you heard how he spoke about you?
It made me feel good, but you know, like what I told him, I was like, you didn't say anything I didn't already know. So the level of fear that he inspired in others was insane. And I would tell him, I said, when I face him, we're gonna go at it. He says, oh, you don't wanna do that. I'm like, what? Man, you don't know me, man. And so when we matched up, I think he understood that. And you know, when I was 18, my first year, he got the best of me a bunch of times. I was right there the next play. You're not intimidating me, I'm not going anywhere.
The important thing to understand for us all, he's not playing.
No, he believes.
He believes that he ain't joking.
But that's why
he's not joking.
That's why
Kobe Bryant is guarded by Michael Jordan. Jordan can never be duplicated. What he did for the culture, what he represented, what he did in terms of taking the game global, there's no doubt about it. But to me, basketball on the court, complicated shots, shooting over taller opponents, footwork with extraordinary grace, the elan vital of the athletic balladry that he put on that court. I think there has been nobody better than Kobe Bryant. I think with the kind of will to win, I'm not denying the genius of Michael Jordan. I'm saying Kobe Bean Bryant, in my estimation, was the greatest basketball player.
A drop down, Kobe! Oh! Up high, down hard, Kobe Bryant!
I think MJ is the greatest of all time, but I think Kobe is more skilled than any player that's ever played that I've seen.
Michael Jordan just seemed to have this otherworldly talent. Kobe had that too, but you could feel like you could reach out and touch it. That you might be able to be like him by watching him, by doing what he did. So on the court, you take that last second shot, you're trying to be like Kobe. You're yelling out, Kobe, trying to make it.
How about the best advice you've ever gotten from him?
Probably the best advice was to be me. To be me. You know, he's faced a lot of criticism as well throughout his career about him shooting too much and being selfish and this, that, and the other. But he said, don't change who you are. Don't change who you are. Play your game, and everybody will adjust to that. But you have to be yourself.
How did that resonate with you?
Well, it kind of gave me the feeling that I was on the right track, you know, because those were my thoughts and my feelings exactly. But you know, there are times where you kind of second guess yourself and like, well, maybe I need to change my game. Maybe I need to be more of a pass first type of a player, and you know, more of a Magic type of a player, and this, that, and the other. You kind of start thinking through things a little bit, and then for him to say that was like, okay, no, you're doing the right thing. You got it right.
Is there a moment during your career that you would love to go back to, just to experience again?
I think going back to draft day, that was, I would love to kind of relive that moment and be 17 years old and going through that process.
What about it?
Just it being just a new thing for me. I mean, I was 17. Now here I am with Allen Iverson and Marcus Camby and Ray Allen and Steve Nash and all these great players, and I'm a teenager, and I'm just kind of here for the ride.
My name is Kobe Bryant. I'm 17 years old, and I've been lucky enough to live not only in different parts of the United States, but Europe as well. It was very hard getting adjusted, simply because I had a lot of trouble understanding English and the slang. And
unfortunately, because of the lack of communication with my peers, I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go to my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. And I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be. And here I am today, giving an oral presentation in English class, not only in front of Mr. Rigby's camera, but the camera of Prism and ESPN. And I enjoy it. I enjoy all the attention, because it's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
You obviously know that there's some people that say you're ready for the NBA right now, and you know what? There's some people that say that you actually need some work for your college game. What do you say?
I say thank you for the feedback. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody sees you at a different level. So I'm going to listen and see what I need to work on. Go out there, work on my skills. Somebody says, Kobe, you need to work on a certain aspect of your game. And I'm going to do it. And next time they see me play, I'm going to say, hey, look, I worked on it. Now what? What do I have to work on now? If they have something else that they want me to work on, I'll go out and do the same thing.
I mean, it's an obsessiveness that comes along with it. You want things to be as perfect as they can be, understanding that nothing is ever perfect. But the challenge is try to get them as perfect as they can be. Mm-hmm. And what can you do? It's in your control. So control what you can.
I just love it. I love jumping, I love dunking, I love hearing the crowd going ooh and ah. The sneakers as they squeak on the wood, the strategies, the competition. The whole game is just tremendous, I sound like an NBA commercial or something. Like, I love this game, When people say that you have the opportunity to go to the NBA and play against the greatest players in the world, that doesn't get you going. I don't think anything will.
There's a lot of publicity, talk about, a high school kid wanting to be a professional player, and your first thought is, these guys can't do this. When he announced that he was going to become a professional, he was here in Los Angeles visiting with his agent. And his agent said, why don't you work him out? And I said, might as well, he's in town. And we go to this workout, and I said, my goodness, I said, this is really a uniquely skilled young kid. And I think the most important thing after the workout was the interview, because he wasn't like a teenage kid. Just listen to him and what he wanted to do with his life. The poise that he had for a young kid was really eye-opening.
Coming into the league, the pressure on Kobe Bryant was enormous. You've got this 17-year-old kid coming straight from high school to the pros. Was he going to play in college, or was he going to jump straight to the pros? A lot of people thought he needed a couple years of seasoning, and he could easily get that in college.
What's it going to be, college or the NBA?
I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet. Right now I'm going through the high school season. It's Final Four time in the state playoffs. So after Saturday, I'll take my time with my family and make a decision.
It was a tough decision. Ultimately, the key factor for me wasn't whether or not I was ready. It was the fact that if I wasn't ready, I was determined to figure out how to get ready. And ultimately, even if I was ready, I still need to improve anyway, right? So the work's not going to stop. It was just a matter of, do you want to come to the league and learn from the best? And the best way to learn from them is to have that jump off of the film, jump off of the page, and see it face to face. That's the best way to learn, because it was like a database. I had everything in my mind of what they could do, what they didn't like to do, where they did it, when they did it. Now if I could see that up close, that is the greatest form of education that I could possibly receive. So that's when I was like, nah, I'm going to go pro.
No, I have decided to skip college and take my talent to the NBA.
I don't have any doubt in my son. He gets 110% grades. I mean, his grades are good, and you see how he plays.
No, I don't play around with basketball. I don't fool around with that. I'm very serious about it. Yeah, but it's enjoyable for me to play the game. But I love winning. And to win, you kind of have to grind it out sometimes.
Buckle up for Kobe! Kobe Bryant just sucked the gravity out of the target center. What a play! point game.
Oh, come on.
This is getting outrageous.
That's not even fair. Is that fair?
Bryant the drive. Oh! Kobe Bryant on a rack attack. Shoot it with 3, with 2. In trouble. Forced up and in. Unbelievable. Bryant for the win. Bryant to shot. The Los Angeles Lakers have made it 3 straight NBA championships.
So would you, when you sized your peers up, how'd you size your peers up? Like if you're sizing people, I'm talking you're 13 years old, you're sizing peers up, what lens are you looking through your peers?
So at 13 years old, I had a kill list. And so, you know, they used to do these rankings. It was Street and Smith basketball rankings. And so I will look at 56, 55, all the way up to number 1, who these players are, what club teams they played for. So when we go on an AAU travel circuit, I got to hunt them down, right? And so that became my mission in high school, is to check off every other person, all those 56 other names, hunt them down and knock them down.
There's a quote from one of my English teachers at Lower Merion named Mr. Fisk. He had a great quote that said, rest at the end, not in the middle.
How did you get your mindset into this alter ego to be comfortable being Black Mamba? Like how did that happen?
Mamba mentality came out of that Black Mamba character. And what that meant, long story short, was this sort of like take no prisoners, killer mentality. This mentality of you can do anything you want to do. Nothing is impossible.
It's a good separation for me, you know, emotionally, to be able to put myself in a place where at practice or when I'm training or during games, I switch my mind to something else. I switch my mode into something else. For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus Decimus Meridius and Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt. It's go time. You gotta put yourself in that cage. When you're in that cage, you are that character. When I'm in that cage, bro, don't fucking touch me. Don't talk to me.
Well, the message is always to go out there and dominate. When you're in that mode, you know, everything is a game 7.
Are you kidding me? Unreal! Yes! Bryant to the basket, inside!
I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. But I enjoyed it though.
I enjoy what I do. You know, this is fun for me. You know, I truly love what I do, and that's where the passion comes from. That's where the will to get better comes from. It's just because I truly enjoy it. I enjoy the preparation. There's a difference between who you are and what you are. What I am when I step on that court is, you know, I'm becoming that. I am that killer snake. I'm stone cold, man. It's just a matter of what's important to you. Mm-hmm. And what's important to you. For whatever reason, you know, I felt like I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of myself. Mm-hmm. If I felt like I left anything on the table, it would eat away at me. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. Right? So the reason why I can retire now and be completely comfortable about it, because I know that I've done everything I could to be the best basketball player I could be.
Mm-hmm. That day, did you kind of know this is the way it might unfold? I may kind of go crazy tonight.
Yeah, I just remember being extremely excited. Like there was such a sadness that was kind of coating Staples Center. And I didn't want to have that. I didn't want people to be sad, because I wasn't sad. I was happy. And I wanted to make sure I gave them something to celebrate versus be sad over. My impact on this organization is to look forward. If I've taught this fan base anything, is that we want excellence, we want championships, and it's about the purple and gold.
And a 17-time NBA All-Star, the third highest scorer in NBA history, the 2008 MVP, two-time NBA Finals MVP, 5-time NBA champion, a 6'6" guard from Lower Merion High School, number 24, Kobe Bryant.
Were you nervous before this game?
No, I wasn't nervous. I was excited. Like I was ready to go. You know, I was ready to go. And you know, I saw my family right before we ran out on the court, and you know, I looked at my wife and our kids, and I just asked my kids. I said, "Let's go put on the show one more time. Is that okay?" And they said, "Yeah." So we went out and put on the show. So it was fun. It wasn't any nervousness or anything like that.
Bryant gets to the basket and has 47 points.
And it's just like seeing this guy, he's so freaking determined to say, I came and gave everything I had, and I'm going to give it till the last freaking second. That's what you did.
For me, it was just like the end of a really long, beautiful journey. You know, I started playing a game of basketball since I was 2, right? And so for this to be the moment, this is the last game for me to come out and perform in front of my fans, in front of my home crowd, in front of my family. It was really exciting. You know, it wasn't any pressure, it wasn't sad or anything like that. It was like, this is awesome. You know, let's go out here and put on the show one more time.
He has 6 60-point games in his career. Bryant for 3. Got it all! Oh! Bryant on the move with the jumper. He got it! My! 58 points! And the Lakers lead! And one of the great farewell performances in any sport.
To my family, my wife Vanessa, our daughters Natalia and Gianna, you know, thank you guys for all your sacrifice. You know, for all the hours I spent in the gym working and training. And Vanessa, you holding down the family the way that you have. I can't, there's no way that I can thank you enough for that. And to spend 20 years here, I mean, you can't write something better than this. What can I say? Mamba out.
Maybe the most memorable goodbye ever in NBA history. And how do you keep it? I mean, you have all this fuel, you have all this, you know, competitive desire in you. Where do you pour it out right now?
Well, I mean, the biggest challenge, I think, for us athletes is to find what comes next. But the thing about sports is that, you know, at some point it's going to come to an end. And for a lot of us, it comes to an end at a very early age. I mean, I played 20 years, and I'll be 38 in August.
But how did that adjustment go from there to all of a sudden, man, I got to go tell stories?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Because I love it. So, you know, it started for me again in high school when I started learning about storytelling, writing, how to structure a story, how to put together, how to thread together a narrative that has a bigger message, how to take some of the emotions from my own journey and instill them into characters that inspire or teach the next generation. What I have to do now is make sure that the people that we bring in, these obsessives that we bring in, are challenging themselves to do the best job that they think they can do. That's what I'm there for, is for them to constantly look in the mirror and challenge themselves. If we have a project and you're saying, okay, I can do that, that's not the project we want. The projects that say, I don't know if I can animate that, I don't know how to do that, those are the things we want, because through that curiosity, you'll reach a level that you didn't think was possible.
Why still wake up that early and train at this level in your life right now?
So how can we teach our children what it means to work hard? Well, you do it through training, right? So when I get up in the morning, my daughter goes with me.
4 a.m.?
4 a.m. My 15-year-old goes with me. She goes with me before school, and it becomes a daddy-daughter thing.
That's cool.
She just got her permit, right? So she drives in the morning. It becomes a cool thing, right? But through that process, she understands the value of hard work and things taking time. And the same thing with my 12-year-old, right? She practices every day, right? And so it's through those behaviors is where I find the motivation to do it.
It's amazing. And what does love feel like for you?
What does love feel like?
Happiness is such a, I don't really think I would describe love as happiness. I think I'd describe it as a beautiful journey. You know, it has its ups and downs, right? Whether it's in marriage or whether it's in the career, you know, things are never perfect. But through love, you continue to persevere and you move through them. You move through them. And then through that storm, beautiful sun emerges.
Yeah.
Right? And inevitably another storm comes. And guess what? You ride that one out too. Yeah. So I think love is a certain determination and persistence to go through the good times and the bad times with the someone or something that you truly love.
I've played other sports. You know, I played baseball. Growing up in Italy, you know, I was forced to play soccer, football, but basketball really moved me. No other sport touched me like the game of basketball. You know, when I would get really upset and I would get really down, I can always just pick up a basketball and go to the playground and just shoot and just put myself in the scenario of being in a finals game. I would just completely get away from everything that's around me. I can be at a park with trees and, you know, but in my mind, I'm in a gymnasium with thousands of people going crazy, you know, in Game 7. You know, so I can just completely escape that moment and be in a complete dream world.
What were some of the down moments for you in basketball?
Well, losing to the Celtics in the finals of 2008, I mean, that was tough. It was brutal. And I remember at night in the hotel room after we lost, just thinking to myself, I may never win another championship. Like, I might have just, like, this is it. It's too hard to get back here. Maybe it's not in the cards to win another one. And so I go through that night of being mad. Then the next morning I wake up and I start thinking, nah, I gotta fix this. So where did it go wrong? Why did we lose? Right, we weren't tough enough. Okay, we weren't tough enough. Whose responsibility is that to make the team tough? It's mine. Right, so now I have to start figuring out how I'm gonna lead this team differently. So to make sure that when we get to the finals the next time, we're tough and ready for this challenge. And that's how you bounce back from those moments.
If you want to make history, you have to do historic things.
Well, I mean, because I think the greatest fear that we face is ourselves, actually. You know, I think it's not anything that's external or anything that's superficial. I think the greatest fear you face is yourself, because, you know, we all have dreams, and it's very scary sometimes to accept the dream that you have. And it's scarier still to say, okay, I want that. It's scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
It's a moment in a game that kids dream about as they're growing up, learning the game of basketball. Kobe Bryant drills. This guy is a different breed. He's on a mission. Bryant working hard to get through. Bryant, the three. Puts it in. Kobe Bryant from downtown. Puts it in. Lakers by 4. There's a three. Bang! Bryant, tough shot. Puts it in. Won't go. Rebound to Sol. Kicks it out to Odom. Odom throws it ahead. The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles. The LA Lakers, the 2010 NBA champions.
Was that a big moment for you, beating the Celtics?
It was huge, you know, because I've seen us as a team grow so much from 2008. You know, Powell, Lamar, you know, all our guys, like how much we have grown since the last time we faced this team, and I couldn't be any more proud of them. You know, it wasn't even about me. It was about sitting back and watching us as a group, and we just accomplished this amazing thing. And now we can all enjoy it together. So
you look back upon it now. Where do you see yourself? Did you do everything you wanted to do? Did you become the best basketball player you could ever become?
It's weird. Like my vision of what my goal is changed drastically as I got older. It's like as a kid, I said I want to be the best ever. Right? And now you go through your life and everything you do is trying to be the best ever, be the best ever, be the best ever. And as you get older, you start understanding that those things are very superficial things. Right? And everybody has a different opinion about it. No matter what you do, I can win 20 championships. There's always an opinion on who's the best. Everybody has different opinions. And so I started really kind of understanding maybe that's not the important thing. Maybe the important thing is to, how do we as a team grow? How do I help my teammates be better? So that was the first change for me. And then as I got older still, it became more about how are you inspiring others, right, to find themselves. That is the ultimate championship. So won 5 championships, that's great. Another team won a championship this year. Team's gonna win a championship next year. Those things come and they go. But what stays is, how do you use your passion and use that to inspire somebody else to create their passion? And then how can they pass that on to the next person? That is true success. So my goals have changed drastically from the time I was 6 years old to the time I was 17 to the time I was 25, and now sitting here at 37.
So you met this young man where?
South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
And his name?
Jared Gibson.
A fan of yours?
Yes.
You meet him at a tournament and he writes you a letter afterwards.
Beautiful letter.
What does it say?
Dear Kobe, how's life treating you these days? I sincerely hope that this letter may find you in the best of health. I'm writing to thank you for the outstanding performance and character you displayed at the Beach Ball Classic. I just want you to know the tremendous impact you've had on my life in the short time I was in your presence, not only as a player, but as a person. You are real, down to earth, and we're accessible to your fans. The game of life has dealt you the perfect hand. You're intelligent, and you're a very gifted basketball player. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow in life awaits you. Grab it. But please remember these 3 things. Always thank God and your family. 2, the hard work it took you to succeed and what it's going to take to keep you there. 3, never forget us, little guys. We saw you at the beginning of your rise to stardom. Just as you've touched me and given me the inspiration to be somebody, there will be thousands more in the future. Stay humble, stay focused, stay real.